today we are going to be talking about late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, the former Nigerian president. A lot of people will say Musa Yar'Adua remains the best president Nigeria has ever had. I don't know how true is that. When Musa Yar'Adua came into power, the first thing he said was the election that brought him to power was flawed. For a Nigerian leader to say such, that means that person is very truthful, that person is very sincere. For him to come out and admit, it shows the level of his sincerity. It shows the level of, truthfulness. It shows how real that person is. Now, another thing I want to highlight in this video is that that man did a lot of things that Nigerian leaders they can't even do it. Now, he was the first Nigerian president to declare publicly his assets. The first person to declare his asset publicly. The only and the first Nigerian president to ever do so. You see how truthful he was, how sincere he was with the people. Then I remember that most of his policies were pro-people's policies, because those policies actually favored the people of Nigeria. Then another thing I remember about that man is that I think he was the only president that did not increase the fuel price. Rather, under his regime, under his administration, the fuel price even went down a little bit. You see? So people will say you don't know the value of what you have until you lose it. That's exactly the tale of Alhaji Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. Now let us go into the facts of his achievements when he was the president of Nigeria. The first thing he did was to put in place these electoral reforms, because he admitted that the election that brought him to power was not 100%, was not correct. Then he went ahead to start these electoral reforms. Now, the second thing he did, after the declaration of his asset, his asset, I think he had the net worth of $5.8 million. Yes. Then again, let me rephrase. That made him the first Nigerian president to ever do so. You get me? So now, the next thing he did was this Niger Delta agenda. He organized an amnesty program for the Niger Delta militants to submit their weapons, so we will have less violence in the Niger Delta. Then he was able to give them this palliative. He gave them a lot of money for all of them to lay down their weapons. So now he made sure there was enough peace for Nigeria to make more money for the economy through that amnesty program for the Niger Delta. He did that. So kudos. Then another thing he did was this 6-point agenda. 6-point agenda. These are the policies that he came up with, that he knew that it will favor the masses of Nigeria, not the elite. You get it? So now, the 6-point agenda, he did this infrastructural development. The another thing he did was wealth creation program. Part of the 6-point agenda was the human capital development. See, when you are saying you are coming up with policies that will favor the GDP of a country, and you are forgetting the human development index, you are not doing anything. Because I did under that 6-point agenda is a review on land tenure regulation. He did that. Another thing that was very significant during his tenure was the significant reduction in insecurity in Nigeria. I think under his administration, he was able to conquer the Boko Haram menace. The another thing he did was food security, still under the 6-point agenda. Food security. He made sure that Nigeria had more food under his administration. The another thing he did was that he made sure, see, this man, anytime he is thinking about making a policy, the priority at the back of his mind was always the people. was always the people, and that is very, very rare. That is very, very rare among our leaders. Another thing that happened, I think he was very, very sick. At a point, he traveled to Saudi Arabia for a long period of time. By the time he came back, some people said he was on a life support coming back to the country. Eventually, he died. Then that was the end of Umar Musa Yar'Adua. But one thing I will never forget about that man is that he made sure that under his administration, people did not suffer more. He made sure that people were more comfortable. He made sure that the economic hardship was less during his administration. That's, some people will consider him as the most democratic president Nigeria has ever had. There was nothing like human rights degradation. You know, he made sure that, you know, everybody was hearing their opinions. People were not arrested. Then he made sure that food was at the food prices was at the lowest during his time. Then even petrol price was at the lowest during his tenure. So that is why a lot of people will say Umar Musa Yar'Adua, Alhaji Umar Musa Yar'Adua, will remain the best president Nigeria has ever had. He became Nigerian president in the year 2007. Then he died in the year 2010. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace. This man made sure that Nigerians, we had it good under him. No doubt, no diggity. And I know a lot of people will say, because see, in this life, there is no how you can walk without your head shaking. A lot of people will disagree with this video. They will say, Musa Yar'Adua was this one. Say, nobody can be perfect. But the thing is, the ratio of your good deeds must outweigh the bad ones. That is what this life is entirely about. So, Umar Musa Yar'Adua was the kind of president that Nigeria, even former President Obasanjo, made a statement about how sincere Umar Musa Yar'Adua was. He was, I think, he was a governor in Katsina State before becoming the president of Nigeria. See, in this life, you have to be good at all times. It is very, very it is very, very good to be good to people. When he died, that made him the fourth Nigerian leader to die in the office. So when he died, that was about the only Nigerian leader that died that people were mourning. Yes, that time a lot of people went into mourning. People were not happy at all that he died. And we have seen a lot of presidents some presidents in this country that once they die like this, everybody trooped into the street. They started jubilating, like Barca won the Champions League. Can you beat that? People were crying practically on the street that a president has died in the office. You know why? Because he made sure that people were more comfortable under his administration. Now, this video is entirely about lessons. What is the lesson I'm throwing out in this video? The lesson is you have to be good. Let prosperity judge you for good. But when people remember you and people are now cursing you, you must have done something very terrible. Everybody always talk about Musa Yar'Adua as the best president Nigeria has ever had. It was a pity that he died after that illness. Yoruba people will say, igi tó bá dá ò kí ń pẹ́ nígbó. You know, igi tó bá dá, that is, good people, they don't live that long on earth, because maybe God have other plans for them when they die, you know, in heaven. But the cocoa of this video is that Alhaji Musa Yar'Adua is still considered the best president, the most democratic president. Imagine if they ask our Nigerian leader that they should be declaring their asset today, oh more, he go far. So kudos to late Musa Yar'Adua. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I beg, if you never subscribe to this channel, do not forget to subscribe to this channel, and please press that notification button, so when my next video is popping up, you'll be the first person to see it. Jeff Olewa is my name. I'll see you on the other side. Holla.
Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the notification button.